Kia ora tātou, and welcome to Manaaki Mentors. Today, we're going to be talking about a critical part of business, leadership and management, and I'm joined by boss man, Hemi. Tēnā koe, Hemi, how are you?
Kia ora, I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, I'm very good. You want to introduce yourself to the whānau?
Let's do it, Dawes. Hey, so my name's Hemi, or Andy Hamilton, co-founder of Manaaki, also built the Ice House for about 20 years. I'm a student of leadership and a practicer of management. I'm enthusiastic, I'm restless, I love learning and consuming a lot of content. And I also love people and helping people get from point to point. So that's me.
So tell us, Hemi, why is continuity of leadership and management so important in a crisis situation?
That's a good question, Dawes. And in answering that, the thing I thought about was, what do the greats do in a crisis? You know, when you observe other people. Well, I reckon what they do is they work out where their feet are. I think they create this base from where they are now, and then they simply work out where they need to go and who they need to take with them. And so they're calm, they're quiet, they're focused, they know what to do, and even if they're wrong, they will commit with intent to action. And if they find that they're wrong as they go down the path, then they'll adjust, but they won't procrastinate or doubt themselves. And I think finally they know when to ask for help, which is really important.
Very important, very important. So we've all been through this COVID and Omicron experience so far. What would you say are the critical things that every business needs to consider in regard to continuity of leaders and management in this pandemic environment?
Okay, so first thing, a bit like what I said before, know where you are truly. So, and ask people if you need to confirm that. So work out where you are, where your feet are, where your base is. Work out the truths that you need to face into. You know, the things that, you know, are important, that you're honest with yourself. Work out some small steps you can take to get some momentum so that you're not stuck in where your feet are. So, and I think momentum is really important. Remember that everyone else is likely to be in the same situation. You know, keep that momentum and just think about 1% improvement every day, day on day, adds up to something incredible.
Nice, I like that, the 1% improvement. So that's the Omicron thing out the way. What are some other type scenarios we need a strong leadership management contingency plan for?
I think the first thing is we have to keep in our mind that we can't predict what's going to happen in the future, and things are going to be thrown at us. And so we just have to accept that we have to be ready to respond. You know, that's the first thing. The other thing is, which a lot of business owners struggle with, is the what ifs. And going, like, what if this happened? What if that happened? What would we do in that scenario? And sometimes I've found with owners that they don't want to talk about the negative, but it's not negative. It's about being ready for a situation. And then just think about external things, earthquakes, floods, COVID, pandemics, or internal things. What happens if a staff member doesn't turn up? You know, and you know, one quick thing I'd learned, the Christchurch businesses in 2011 became unbelievably resilient because they learnt how to respond. And that's something we all need to remember. Shit happens. So just get used to things being different to the way that we expect and play out, what if this happens? What if that happens? What would we do?
Okay, so that's the scenarios that we need to plan for. Now let's get down to the specifics. What are 3 practical things Pākehī need to consider in how they actually go about putting a plan together? Say for example, you're a 2-person business in partnership and your partner suddenly is unable to work. What should we do immediately?
So the first thing, Dawes, is that I've always had a little bit of a challenge with coming up with 3 things. So I've come up with a few others, but let's just go, right? Because I think planning and scenario stuff is cool, but the hard bit is the doing. So I think the first thing I'd say is, where are we? Where are our feet? which I've said before, do your current status. Write it down, agree it with your business partner of the two of you, and agree. The second thing is, where are we going? So, yes, there's a dream where we want to head out for, but I always like quite specifically to time bound it. So like we sit here in the middle of, we're 43% of the year done, roughly speaking, half the year done. Where do we want to be by the end of the year, right? I think that's important. What needs to be true for us to be successful to hit that goal at Christmas? What must we find or answers to or prove out is quite a good thing to do. And then what could go wrong looking forward, and how would we respond in that? I think also ask yourself some questions around challenges that we need to overcome, opportunities that we could pursue, and then look at ourselves and our people. What development opportunities are there? What do we know we're brilliant at? What do we know that we struggle at? When you're a two-person organisation, you don't have a choice to, hey, let's manage. Let's get someone else to do that. You have to face into the fact that as business owners, we do everything. But you do have a choice around where where and how you act. And there's one thing I want to finish, and I heard this from a resilience teacher at my daughter's school actually, which I thought was pretty profound. She's a leader, kind of pracademic. And what she was talking about is 3 guides for how you deal and enhance your resilience. And resilience is as much about the planning and the contingency that happens for our leadership. And I thought they're really good. The first is understand and accept that struggle is a part of everyday life.
Nice.
It's normal, right? We just got to go in the mahi. It's tough, but guess what? Everyone's got the same. Second thing is, which is a really good thing that I struggle with, choose where you focus your attention.
Nice.
And that's quite interesting. Choose where you focus your attention. Choose to focus where you can control. Don't choose to focus on stuff you can't control.
For sure.
And then the last one, which has made me think a lot since I heard it, was ask yourself, is this helping me or harming me when there is an action in front of me or a choice to make? And it's a very good thing to actually, if you think about it, asking your kids, but asking your business owner and yourself, when you've got an issue coming up, do I need to go to that? Is that going to help me, or is that actually going to harm me? And I think those 3 tips are really good around the continuity planning that comes from taking our leadership capability forward into the future.
Nice. Thanks, Hemi. The exercise for today's session. First one, identify key people in your organization's leadership group that you need a plan for. Number 2, for each person, come up with a strategy for how their responsibilities will be distributed across the business. And the final one, consider the financial impact of losing a member of leadership and come up with 3 things you're going to do to ensure your business isn't impacted financially by the loss of a business leader or manager. That's us today, whānau. Thank you very much for your time, Andy, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Kia ora.